The Apostle is a 1997 American drama film written and directed by Robert Duvall, who stars in the title role. John Beasley, Farrah Fawcett, Walton Goggins, Billy Bob Thornton, June Carter Cash, Miranda Richardson, and Billy Joe Shaver also appear. It was filmed on location in and around St. Martinville and Alamance, Louisiana, with some establishing shots done in the Dallas, Texas area. The majority of the film was shot in the Louisiana areas of Sunset and Lafayette. The film was screened in the Uncertain Regard section at the 1998 Cannes Film Festival. For his performance, Duvall was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actor. The film won the Independent Spirit Award for Best Film for 1997.
Plot.
Ulysses F. Sonny Dewey is a charismatic Pentecostal preacher. His wife, Jessie, has begun an adulterous relationship with a youth minister named Horace. She refuses Sonny's desire to reconcile, although she assures him that she will not interfere with his right to see his children. She has also conspired to use their church's bylaws to have him removed from power. Sonny asks God what to do but receives no answer. Much of the congregation sides with Jessie in this dispute. Sonny, however, refuses to start a new church, insisting that the one which forced him out was his church. At his children's Bible camp softball game, Sonny, in an emotional and drunken fit, attacks Horace with a bat and puts him into a coma. Horace later dies. A fleeing Sonny ditches his car in a river and gets rid of all identifying information. After destroying all evidence of his past, Sonny rebaptizes himself and anoints himself as the Apostle E.F. He leaves Texas and ends up in the bayous of Louisiana, where he persuades a retired minister named Blackwell to help him start a new church. He works various odd jobs and uses the money to build the church and to buy time to preach on a local radio station. Sonny also begins dating the station's receptionist. With Sonny's energy and charisma, the church soon has a faithful and racially integrated flock. Sonny even succeeds in converting a racist construction worker who shows up at a church picnic intent on destruction. While at work in a local diner, Sonny sees his new girlfriend out in public with her husband and children, apparently reconciled. Sonny walks out, vowing never to return there. Jessie hears a radio broadcast of the Apostle E.F. and calls the police on Sonny. The police show up in the middle of an evening service, but allow Sonny to finish it while they wait outside. In the poignant finale, Sonny delivers an impassioned sermon before telling his flock that he is to go. In the final scene, Sonny, now part of a chain gang, preaches to the inmates as they work along the side of a highway.
Cast.
Robert Duvall as Ulysses F. Sonny Dewey. Farrah Fawcett as Jessie Dewey. John Beasley as Brother C. Charles Blackwell. Miranda Richardson as Tuzi. June Carter Cash as Mama Dewey. Walton Goggins as Sam. Billy Bob Thornton as Troublemaker. Billy Joe Shaver as Joe. Rick Dial as Elmo. Todd Allen as Horace. Production. Development. Making the Apostle had been a long-time passion project for Duvall, who first wrote the script in 1984, but could not find a studio willing to produce it. 4. Duvall's interest in playing a preacher stemmed from an experience he had in the 1960s visiting a small Pentecostal chapel in Arkansas while doing research for an off-Broadway play. Said Duvall, there was a certain simplicity and understanding, and also the feeling of the folklore. Preaching is one of the great American art forms. The rhythm, the cadence. And nobody knows about it except the preachers themselves. 3. After finding no interest from studios, he eventually decided to direct and finance the film himself. Filming. The film was primarily shot in western Louisiana over a period of 7 weeks in the fall of 1996. 3. The fictional town of Bayou Bout is actually a small town in Louisiana called Sunset. Some members of the supporting cast were actual churchgoers from the area. 5. Release. The film was first screened at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 6, 1997. In the middle of the screening, studio executives began leaving the theater to bid for distribution rights. 6. October Films won the bidding war and gained the distribution rights that night. 7-8. The Apostle opened in limited release in North American theaters on December 19, 1997, eventually expanding nationwide through February and March 1998. It went on to gross $21.3 million worldwide, against a production budget of $5 million. 1. Soundtrack. The Apostle. Music from and inspired by the motion picture. Soundtrack album by Various. Released February 10, 1998. Genre country. Contemporary Christian. Southern Gospel. Length 50:30. Label Rising Tide. Producer Robert Duvall. Scott Greenstein. Professional ratings. Review scores. Source rating. AllMusic, 9. The score for The Apostle was scored by David Mansfield. 3 songs by country music artists Lyle Lovett, Patty Loveless, and contemporary Christian artist Steven Curtis Chapman were recorded especially for the film. The song There Ain't No Grave Gonna Hold My Body Down was composed by brother Claude Ely. 10-11. The soundtrack won the 1998 Grammy Award for Best Southern, Country, or Bluegrass Gospel Album. 12. The songs I Will Not Go Quietly by Chapman, Two Coats by Loveless, and I'm a Soldier in the Army of the Lord by Lovett were released on a soundtrack album that was supplemented with more exclusive songs inspired by, but not included in, the film. Track listing.
No.
Title length. 1. I Will Not Go Quietly, Steven Curtis Chapman, 346. 2. Two Coats, Patty Loveless, 321. 3. I'm a Soldier in the Army of the Lord, Lyle Lovett, 329. 4. Softly and Tenderly, Rebecca Lynn Howard, 305. 5. There Is a River, Gaither Vocal Band, 424. 6. In the Garden, Johnny Cash, 316. 7. I Love to Tell the Story, Emmylou Harris and Robert Duvall, 345. 8. Wadin' In on the Far Side Banks of Jordan, Carter Family, 315. 9. Victory Is Mine, Sounds of Blackness, 332. 10. There Is Power in the Blood, Laurie White, 519. 11. There Ain't No Grave Gonna Hold My Body Down, Russ Taff, 454. 12. I'll Fly Away, Gary Chapman and Winona Judd, 347. 13. Soft and Tenderly Reprise, Dino Kartsanakis, 437. Total length, 50:30. Chart performance. Chart 1998 peak. Position. U.S. Billboard Top Christian Albums 4. U.S. Billboard Top Country Albums 13, 21. U.S. Billboard 200, 13, 175. Reception. The film has an 88% approval rating on the review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, based on 51 reviews, with an average score of 8 out of 10. The consensus summarizes a nuanced sermon on the contradictions of faith as well as a blistering showcase for its director and star. The Apostle will leave audiences evangelizing the immensity of Robert Duvall's talent. 14 Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 83 out of 100, based on 28 critics, indicating universal acclaim. 15. Critic Roger Ebert gave it 4 out of 4 stars and called the film a lesson in how movies can escape from convention and penetrate the hearts of rare characters. 16. Lisa Schwartzbaum of Entertainment Weekly gave the film an A- grade and described it as a seamless match of strong artistic vision and physical performance, with the Oscar-winning star of Tender Mercies drawing on more than 3 decades of experience personifying the hard contours and bruised souls of American men to create a fearless and fascinating piece of work. 5.